One of the greatest shortcuts to success is to get close to the people who are going to be your mentors, your deal partners, even your community of people who are going to be side by side. Proximity truly is power. When you can find yourself in a great city, it is such a shortcut to everything that it is that you're looking for. In this video, I'm going to share with you some of the incredible successes that have come from me being in Austin, Texas. I'm originally from Edmonton, Canada, so to come to Austin, Texas was a really big move for me, but it was worth absolutely every single bit of it. I'm also going to share with you some tips if you are not in a major city or you can't move to one on how you can maybe get the next best thing in terms of being surrounded by the right kinds of people and opportunities. Welcome to the HP3 Show. We're here for high performance, high profit, and high purpose. My name is Tim Francis. I am a former varsity athlete turned intellectual athlete. Thank you for being here. Many years ago, like 15 or more years ago, I was a touring drummer. And in the backstage and green room areas, it was pretty common that other bands would say things like, oh, I don't want to sell out. I'm not going to move to Nashville or LA or sometimes not even to Toronto or Vancouver. And I didn't know what to make of it. I had never really been around successful musicians before, so I didn't know if that was good advice or bad advice. After my band ended, I became a full-time entrepreneur. And before I knew it, I was going back and forth to the United States nonstop. All the best conferences and events and networking and masterminds seemed to be in the United States. So I decided I would move to the United States, and I ended up in Austin, Texas. It was the city I was going to more than any. My main mentor at the time lived there, and one of my great friends invited me to be in Austin and show me around. So I moved to Austin, and the magic just started happening pretty much instantly upon moving here. I don't have enough time here today, nor would you necessarily want to listen to all the successes. So I'm just going to highlight some from even just the last year, because even just the last year is truly extraordinary in terms of who I've met, the kinds of events I've gone to, and the insights that I have gotten. So this right here, this is me meeting James Clear. He was in town for a YPO event, and I had a burning question for him around content marketing. I said, if you were to start all over again today, would you still go to blogging, which is how he built his following? He said, absolutely not. I would do it on YouTube. And lo and behold, where are we today? I'm here with you on YouTube, largely because of what James said on that particular day. More recently, I hosted an event here in Austin. It was a one-day private event talking all about mergers and acquisitions. Now, I'm not an expert at mergers and acquisitions, but this guy right here is, Tom Shipley. He recently actually just moved out of Austin, but when he was living here, I got invited to his house for kind of a really casual kind of entrepreneur mixer open house type situation. And we became friends. And so for kind of a year or two after that, we'd kind of stay in touch and invite each other to each other's events. And I said to Tom one day, why don't we do some kind of a private event where you can teach M&A to some of my closest connections? So he said yes. And actually his fellow business partner, Matt Bodner, also came out, who's also an absolute genius at M&A. Tom has done over $2 billion in revenue in his businesses. Matt has transacted over $100 million of businesses in his M&A journey. These guys came because I was able to pull together an awesome room of other entrepreneurs, and probably at least half, if not 2/3 of these entrepreneurs were in Austin, Texas. So you can see the snowball is really picking up steam here, and so special for getting connected into great people in town here. When I think about where that momentum started to take me, it really led to a couple very special, really special weeks here. So as part of that day with Tom Shipley, I hosted a private dinner at night, and Perry Marshall, one of my all-time favorite mentors and thought leaders, iconic in the online advertising space, and just an all-around amazing human being, he flew in because guess what? There's this center of gravity happening where Tom and Matt are teaching M&A, which attracts a ton of other entrepreneurs locally in Austin as well as from around the country. So then it attracts other really big names like Perry to come as well. So a few weeks after that, Tom actually had his own event called DealCon, and I was able to connect with a longtime friend named Jason Cisneros. And Jason actually just came through town again, and I had dinner with him just last night. So here you can see is Jason, and I had him out at dinner, And I made sure to introduce him to Austin just the right way. So he thought that was absolutely hilarious. We had an absolutely awesome time. It was such a special, special time. And I mean, Jason is the caliber of guy he spoke at DealCon, but he's also spoken alongside Tony Robbins. He's done, I think, something like 30 or 40 business transactions, and he now helps women and children who are in domestically violent situations to be safe once again. So the hits keep coming here, my friend. If I think back to some other events of the last few weeks, Jeff Hoffman, the billionaire founder of Booking.com, was coming through Austin. This is him right here. And I noticed that, so I approached the owner of Profit Multipliers, which was the event he was speaking at. I said, why don't we put on a kind of secret VIP dinner for Jeff? And Jordan, amazing guy, he said, sure. So we put together this dinner, and this was a star-studded table. There's Jordan, the guy from Profit Multipliers. There's Jeff from Booking.com. And with Jeff in town, I reached out to some of the local connections that I have. And Jason Buchel, the CEO of Whole Foods, was there. 91,000 employees, $17 billion in revenue. Rob Steffens, the former CFO of Marvel Entertainment, was there. Took Marvel from $100 million to $50 billion, and it was instrumental in the transaction of Marvel being sold to Disney. So, goodness gracious, just incredible. Also in this stretch, also at Profit Multipliers, Dr. Robert Cialdini was there, and so I met him, and we had just an amazing conversation, probably a good 25 minutes, about ancient spirituality and persuasion of all things. So it's just been the hits just keep coming here in Austin, Texas. And there's also been some other kind of out-of-town folks who've been wonderful to meet. This is Gary Vaynerchuk. His business partner moved to Austin, and his business partner wanted to know if we could show Gary around because my reputation had been growing as someone who was connected in Austin. So we got Gary for the whole day, and we're talking probably 12 or 16 hours. We had a pickleball tournament, got him dinner with some important people. It was really, really cool. And Gary had amazing advice for me on a few different fronts as well. I also had the opportunity to speak at a United Nations event, which was incredible. Chris Do, this was also this year. Chris is a former Emmy Award-winning personal brand expert. And he was coming to town for South by Southwest. And I said, hey, while you're in town, we should do a private event. He said, sure. So I got together 40 entrepreneurs and investors. In fact, some came from out of state, Arkansas, Idaho, Tennessee, Illinois. And we had probably 2-3 hours with Chris. So he gave a talk, I interviewed him, and then he did a lot of Q&A with people who were at the event. So talk about an absolute privilege to be surrounded by such incredible people. And that's what happens when you're in a city where the action is happening for your particular industry. Now, Austin may or may not be for you. Like I said, if you're into country music, just don't think about it. Move to Nashville. If you are into finance, don't think about it. Move to New York. If you're into movies, don't think about it. Move to LA. And now there might be a question like, well, hey, Tim, that's great, but I can't move from my home city. What should I do? Well, okay. Online, there are many great communities you can join. So I would think about how can you get into some of those communities. One online community I'm a part of, which I enjoy, is Selena Sue's Rich Relationships Mixer. That's great if you're a speaker, author, course creator. There's also Facebook groups, which then turn into online webinars and masterminds and whatnot. If you can't be in a city where the whole industry is coming through you, then at least go find the online communities where that's possible. And if you can't attract superstar talent, high profile people like I have, because you're just not in the right city, you can actually do that by hosting a podcast or a webinar series or a YouTube channel and ask those people to be on your show. Also, do your best to fly to whatever events you can afford to get to. That will start the ball rolling for you as well. I believe in high performance, high profits, and high purpose. If you believe the same, do subscribe to my YouTube channel and also consider going to subscribe to my newsletter, which is at gohp3.com. Proximity is power. Make sure you get yourself around some people who are going to help you get to where you want to go. I'll see you in the next one.